one thing. You've just started getting into the field of bodybuilding.
Yes.
Um, you've got a very good coach who's coaching you right now. I just want to know how did you land up with Iqbal? Did you do research or did someone tell you? How did you land up with Iqbal? Okay, now speaking on drugs, when you work out in the gym, there are a lot of people in the gym who are not even athletes, but who work out just to showcase how strong they are for social media content. Have you seen these kind of people in the gym?
I have come across a lot of people, and to be honest, I think you would be aware, and a lot of us in the industry, that it's easily available now.
Right.
It's mushrooming everywhere.
Okay, Rahul, tell me one thing about a rivalry that happens. Because what I've noticed is a lot of athletes who have been competing for many years have a different kind of brotherhood. Maybe I can use it as pre-COVID and post-COVID,
Right.
right? So obviously you're post-COVID of an athlete. So how do you look at brotherhood? How do you look at the community?
In my experience, Gavin, to be honest, so far, to be honest, I see that fraternity. I see the togetherness.
आपने डायरेक्टली इतना बड़ा जंप लिया फ्रॉम कम्पीटिंग इन 4 अलग कॉम्पिटिशन डायरेक्टली शेरू क्लासिक. आप बाकी छोटे इवेंट्स अपकमिंग इवेंट्स में आपने कम्पीट क्यों नहीं किए या कुछ?
सर, अगर आप देखेंगे तो पहला शो मेरा जो था वो IBBF के साथ में था, मिस्टर कर्नाटका. और दूसरा शो मेरा NPC में था. तीसरा शो डॉक्टर फ्लेक्स क्लासिक.
राइट.
I enjoyed that a lot. Amazing the way they organize. चौथा डोमिनेटर क्लासिक था और अभी शेरू क्लासिक जो सामने है. तो मैं ये तो नहीं कह पाऊंगा कि ये कोई बहुत बड़ा जंप है, लेकिन सामने था और अगर मैं रेडी हूँ तो क्यों नहीं.
Okay, hi everybody, welcome to another podcast of Andropique mic testing with me, Gavin PHILLIPS. And today I've got another athlete on the couch is joining me. Now he has just competed in 4 bodybuilding shows, but he's doing really, really well. And yes, he's competing for the upcoming Sheru Classic, where he's going to be competing in men's bodybuilding and men's classic physique, 2 categories. And it's really amazing to have an athlete on the couch just 2 days before he goes on stage to compete. It's so difficult for an athlete to even do something out of their workout and diet because it's just few days before a competition. They have less consumption of water, no salt, and no carbs, so they're actually very weak. But still, my guest remote time and is here with us today. So a warm welcome, my guest. We have Rahul Singh on the couch. A warm welcome, Rahul, to Andropique mic testing.
Thank you so much, Gavin. I'm very happy to be here that you invited me. And I was a bit tired, like you said, but the moment I heard, the way the podcast is going to be organized, really excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Rahul. So, Rahul, you've competed in 4 bodybuilding shows, as I said in the introduction, and you won gold medals in most of them, right?
Almost all, yes.
In all of them.
Yeah.
So, a big jump from 4 bodybuilding competitions to compete in one of the biggest stages that we have in not just in Delhi or in India, but in Asia. So, we have Sheru Classic happening this weekend.
That's right.
How is it? How are you prepared for it?
So I already have idea about how Sheru is and the level of athletes we have. So I'm ready. I was like talking to you some time back that I believe in the preparation that I do. So I have been training for a long time, and this wasn't something that was an accident. It was planned, and we executed very well. So looks like we are fully on track, and that's how prepared. It's 7 months of journey that we have to be here. So previous shows, as you know, that we got gold and overalls and all those things. I believe that was just a preparation to be, before we face this biggest.
So were these 4 shows that you competed and gave you an indication that, okay, Rahul, you're on the right path. This is what you are meant to do and you're doing it right. And is that something that motivates you and pushes you to push yourself a little harder every day, every day, every day?
So do you want to know, what pushes me or what motivates me?
Absolutely.
So, when you talk about motivation, I don't believe in that because it's momentary. I believe more in passion, or you can also term it as obsession.
Okay.
So people who excel in bodybuilding, I believe it's more like obsession and not just motivation. So there is something already in you that drives you, and it's not temporary. It's not a game of like 2 or 3 years. So you're going to be here, lifelong, and maybe as long as you can continue or pursue. So it was natural in me. I've been training ever since I was small, like 5 years. My dad was in the army, so he kept training me. My granddad was wrestler and bodybuilder as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So So he was the one who started training me, and then I joined the first gym when I was in 12th standard, and ever since it's never stopped. There was a little bit of gap because
Yep.
of transfer things and all that, but the training is happening. Although I won this show, these shows in a row
Right.
overall and all that, and I may be a new kid on the block, or just a little bit of limited experience,
Right.
whatever. But when you talk about training and all that, I've been training for a very very long time.
Right. So, what is special preparations you've done for competing in Sheru Classic?
There is, to be honest, there is nothing special. That's so. This was already planned. So the moment we started, the protocol was followed, and that's how we are here. So I don't see any major changes in between, specifically designed for this particular show. But I think since this was the goal this year, so right from the beginning, the prep went accordingly.
Right.
So in case you want to know in detail, if you have any specific question, I'm here to answer. But there is no major changes in between or deviation from what we were doing before.
You know, see, most of my guests who I've connected with are all who've competed in Sheru Classic and the Amateur Olympia a couple of times, who are pro card holders. So you're competing for the very first time
Yes.
in Sheru Classic. Uh, what is your aim? I mean, where do you look at yourself 5 years from now as a bodybuilder?
So I really want to be. It's the pro card, like I was talking to you some time back, before this started. Winning a pro card is just the beginning, and I do not have any particular thing in my mind that this is where I'm going to stop, because there is no stopping, there is no off season, there is no rest. Um, After a very long time, I have been in a position to start competing,
Right.
and I'm not going to stop. I don't want to. There is nothing as a dead
There's
end, or
nothing
I
going
can.
to stop you.
There is nothing stopping me. When you talk about the effort, I can't name a stage where I'll stop, because I haven't experienced that yet, and it will be very unwise to say that this is where I want to be.
Right.
But I'm accountable for each and every hour that I spend for my training or for my lifestyle, and wherever it takes me. My job is to give the best that I can
Right.
each and every hour, be
Right.
accountable for that time, and wherever it takes me, as far as I can go. So
Right.
that's the thing. Apart from being a bodybuilder, since it's maybe a career if you want to monetize or whatever it is, my coach also stresses on the fact that apart from the fact that you are a bodybuilder, you need to evolve yourself as a good human being as well.
Right.
So that thing always revolves in mind. Respecting people, respecting other athletes, being a part of this industry, a great one. So I want to be a good human being is something that I can say. Uh, I want to do things, contribute in this industry by sharing the best practices that I can offer. But when you talk about, there is no particular stage that I can name right now that this is where my
You're going to be
destination
here.
is. Yeah.
Right. So just one thing, you've just started getting into the field of bodybuilding.
Yes.
Um, you've got a very good coach who's coaching you right now. I just want to know how did you land up with Iqbal? Did you do research or did someone tell you? How did you land up with Iqbal?
I think the coach is not just good; he is one of the best, I guess.
He
I
is. Agree. I totally agree with you.
So if I tell you how coach hunting started, it's just that there is a team called Pro Coach, UK
Okay.
based. So we have Ross, and they prepare for people who are competing at Olympia stage. So they have lifestyle coaching and all other things. So people at different levels. So I approached them first, but then I realized that foreign trainers, they do not understand, your diet habit and your lifestyle and all that. So although they are good, absolutely, but didn't work out for me. So I had to drop in between,
Okay.
with respect, of course. Uh, Talking about how I bumped into Iqbal sir is we were actually looking for coaches and all that. I have a small business. I have two kids I was training. They were actually looking for coaches for me.
Okay.
They mentioned Iqbal Sayyid sir, and actually they organized the whole thing, and they say that okay, you should be talking to him, because Manoj Sarimpani Bhaiya was, of course, he was pro card holder. So we realized that okay, the coach looks good. If he has two students with pro card, Sunny Sharma Bhaiya is another one. So we were like, okay, let's give it a try. Looked into profile, seemed like he fits the bill. Actually exceeded the expectation. And then when I spoke to him for the first time, then I think that I realized, okay, this is the right person, because there is a connect. He's a good speaker, and I could connect with him easily. He doesn't talk too much,
Right.
but he knows what exactly he needs to talk about. So that's how I got to know him, and that's how the journey started with him. And it's been around 7 to 8 months. We don't talk too much over the phone and all that, but whatever the protocol is, in a timely manner, it's fabulous and amazing. The
Right.
way he does, especially when you are close to the competition. He was in the last show just to check in. Just 2 minutes of 3 minutes of interaction and his feedback goes a long way.
Right. So it's very important having an experienced coach who is there to guide you at every point of time so that you are confident when you're on stage.
Absolutely. So, like I was saying, that we all work hard, right? Uh, each and every athlete, but not everybody is at the top,
Right.
right? And it's one person can be at the top, but if the same person is being on top like number of times, it says something about the coach directly.
Right.
Because you can work hard, but the hard work without guidance takes you nowhere. So that's how important guidance is, and having a right coach, knowledgeable coach who can lead you on the right path, understands you.
Right.
That's Iqbal Sayed.
Right. Okay, I've got a very blunt question to you. You know, you
Yes.
just said that you just got in the field of bodybuilding, so you have no plan as to what is going to happen next. You will follow the lead of what your coach says. This is very right and very, which a lot of athletes do follow because their coach knows them very well and they know where and what event they can deliver the best.
I believe you. It's a very fair question, and it's very practical as well. I really appreciate that you asked that question. Now, when you talk about, I think Iqbal Sayed sir also expects you to have your own opinion, and I have my own. I can take his suggestion. We can come to a mutual understanding, and then. But to be honest, I think he's not the type of person who wants to have complete grip on where exactly you want to go or where you will be heading. He wants you to be accountable for your own action, have your own perception, and expectation and approach and all that, and then he can mingle with you and gel with you and talk about it, and whatever
Right.
we decide together, he will take you there.
Take care.
So,
Yeah.
for example, I have a few things in my mind lined up for the next show, but it's still elusive a bit. So that's what I'll talk to my coach about. For example, the next stage, what is going to be.
Right.
And
Right.
if I have to reveal it to you, then I would say that Dubai Pro was the next move in my mind.
Which is
But
happening
like
next month, yeah.
not the right next month. I want to be ready for that.
Okay, you want to be ready for the Dubai Pro.
Yes, maybe next year is something that I have in mind, but it's dwarfed. The
Okay.
feeling is, it's a bit elusive. So I'll talk to him, and when he suggests something, it will definitely
You'll
make
work towards
sense.
it, yeah.
Yeah. And
Right.
then that's how
Okay.
we'll continue. But I need to have my own perception. That's what he also appreciates. So.
Right, right. Now, since you're competing in an event like Sheru Classic for the very first time, and you competed in 4 events and you won gold, I'm
Yeah.
sure you are confident enough. There's a very blunt question I'm going to be asking you. Are you confident enough to win a gold and a pro card at this event in Delhi?
I am confident. I am confident, but not in an arrogant way. I would say I'm positive about it. But I can't be cocksure that, okay, yes, I am the only one who can win it. But I believe I have the capability, I have put in the hard work for it. And I do not compete with others, and check their profile that how good the athlete is, because how you are on stage and how you look in the picture and all that. It's entirely different. That's what
Different.
I have experienced in the past, 3 years of my
So, do you have
bodybuilding
any idea
career.
who your competitors are going to be?
Honestly, I do not know a lot of people. Um, there are categories as well at the same
Right.
time. And like I said, that it's how you're on stage is entirely different than how you look backstage. So I do not see anybody as a competitor. Uh, it may be, it may sound a little vague, but I do not find anybody as my competitor. They may be better, definitely. Maybe they are bigger, or maybe they are more conditioned. Can be anything. But when you talk about having overall personality and package and all that, to be there, what that stage demands, I think I'm ready for that. One I do not see as a competitor, but if I have to appreciate somebody
Right.
that I admire, I think I really like the posing and the way Sunmeet Gill is.
Okay.
Somebody
Right.
who I've just started following,
Classic
and
physique athlete.
classic physique athlete.
I,
I like his vacuum, and I like the way he poses.
right.
Yeah, and his conditioning. And when he talks about it, he is very practical. He shares knowledge and all that. And I really value education of people. And that does not mean that going to the school or having command over a particular language or anything. It's just that you can draw knowledge and inspiration from any source.
No, there are very few people who really know what is happening and how to deal with the situation. If you're on bodybuilder and you have a coach telling you everything that you do and you just follow whatever he does, even if you become a successful bodybuilder, you may not know what you've done, what you've taken, what you've supposed to. You just follow things blindly because your coach tells you. It makes it a lot of sense when you ask your coach why or what, and when he explains to you, that's how you gain knowledge.
That
So a
is
lot
right.
of you need to ask to get answers.
You are 100% right. Yes. You need to, because you are accountable for your own actions, right?
Right,
You have full faith in your coach. That is all right. But what are you gaining?
right,
What are you doing for yourself, right? You need to update yourself and educate yourself. You have a coach, great, but is your coach being able to teach you how and why method and all those things? That is actually, it plays an important role. So when you talk about my coach particularly, then he does tell me here and there, what is this for? Not exactly the whole thing, but you have an idea of why are you doing this particular method, what happens with this.
so your why answer has been given to you clearly, so you have an answer as to why.
In a very subtle way, but you are absolutely 100% clear that why you are doing this particular thing. Yes.
Correct, correct. Okay, now speaking on drugs, when you work out in the gym, there are a lot of people in the gym who are not even athletes, but who work out just to showcase how strong they are for social media content. Have you seen these kind of people in the gym?
I have come across a lot of people, and to be honest, I think you would be aware, and a lot of us in the industry, that it's easily available now.
Right,
It's mushrooming everywhere. And I believe it's a very wrong approach and mindset of people, to be honest. Because, there is no harm in putting in the body. If you want to take the risk, it's your life, it's your body.
right,
But there has to be a genuine reason why. If you have a strong reason why, it's okay. I mean, it's not completely, you're not harming somebody else. But the thing is that, in my opinion, do it if you want to really get into the profession,
now, as I
right?
said, a lot of people are doing it just for social media content. I want to show the world how strong I am, how much heavy weights I can lift. Because at the end, there's no point going to the gym if I can't lift heavy weights. It all depends on how heavy weights I can lift. That's why it goes into a very wrong direction with people.
It's not yourself, it's not being yourself. And if there is anything that you're not yourself, that can't be right. If you're doing it just to grab attention and not because you really are passionate about it, and gaining strength does not come from steroid, it comes from your natural will and your natural body has its own mechanism and all that. And I believe, just to answer, and if I have to send a message to these people who do that, I would say in a very simple word and educate them, it's okay. Like, it's your life. You do whatever you want, if nobody can control you. But the thing is, know one thing, that if you want to put some substance in your body, it works the best when your muscle is matured. What that means is, you train hard with
Right.
your natural
Right.
capability, mature your muscle, and then if you have a solid reason, do that. I mean, be it whatever, to attract people and all that, but there is no shortcut, and you need to understand that crystal clear, and you show people the right. If you're an influencer and all that, people are getting influenced. You are accountable for their lives as well. So
Right.
understand that, how important that is.
Right.
And just to show that how strong you are, you also need to be in a position to understand that people are watching you.
Correct.
That's why you are there.
Correct.
You are influencing their life. So it's a responsible job. It's not a joke. So
Talking on influencing people, how important do you think is being an influencer on social media for an
what
athlete?
what do we mean by influencer? It's not only to, if I look at the root of this whole thing, influencers and all those things, it's not for people, it's for themselves. Being an influencer is a task of responsibility.
It is.
And when you talk about being responsible, you need to do a lot of background work for that. You need to be educated on a subject. You need to be experienced and need to go through the whole journey before you cater something to people. You can't give people something that you don't even have. And that's
Correct.
what's happening when you talk about influencers, right?
Correct.
Of course, like I said, I can't take anyone's name because I'm not involved. I'm not even interested in anyone's profile anyway. But I have a very clear understanding of how the industry is, this influencer things and all that. It's in a very harsh way, but it's absolutely rubbish. Most of them, I won't say all, but mostly I have seen.
Are you
It's
influencing any brands on social media?
I am not. No, I'm very picky in these cases and all that. So I have some contracts in hand, and I do not want to ask people to do something that I don't believe in. So as of now, no, but I will once I'm ready.
So you're trying to be a very responsible athlete when it comes to, influencing something on social media.
I want to be 100% genuine, and I will be 100% genuine. And if answer to something is positive, that's going to be positive. And
Right.
if I'm not capable of something, I won't do that.
Right. Right.
And if there is any shortcoming in me, I'm going to highlight that very clearly that this is something I'm not aware of. So I can't, because there may be some people approaching you for some kind of information that you are not skilled in that particular sphere. So I'm not going to impart that knowledge to other people.
Right.
So I am responsible and I want to share the information responsibly.
Right.
I know that at this level where I'm almost nobody, people listen to me and they follow it.
Right.
So I'm imagining that people who are touching thousands of lives and all that, how, what is the impact of all that? How many people are getting impacted with that?
Right.
It's not a joke, like I said, and it's a very serious matter, and we need to introduce it with a lot of seriousness.
Hi, guys. I hope you're really enjoying the podcast and the conversation that I'm having with the guest. If you have any comments or any queries, or you would like me to invite any other guests to the podcast, please do put it in the comments, or you can DM me. This is my handle right here below. And yes, this podcast is brought to you by Andropique. Andropique is India's number one all natural testosterone booster. So, this is what exactly Andropique is. So, it's a testosterone booster meant for every man above the age of 30. If you feel lethargic, if you're tired during the day, you're not getting good sleep, you're not able to perform well in the gym, you have one solution. That's Andropic. So make sure you just take in one capsule of Andropic at night, just before bed, and you will see magic happening from the very first capsule. Go ahead and continue watching the podcast. I'm sure you will love it till the very end. Thank you all and take care. Okay, Rahul, tell me one thing about a rivalry that happens because what I've noticed is a lot of athletes who have been competing for many years have a different kind of brotherhood. Maybe I can use it as pre-COVID and post-COVID,
Right.
right? So obviously you're post-COVID of an athlete. So how do you look at brotherhood? How do you look at the community?
In my experience, Gavin, to be honest, so far, to be honest, uh, I see that fraternity. I see the togetherness. Uh, yes, on social media, I see a lot of rivalry and all that mumbo jumbo and all that. But as far as my experience is concerned, interacting with other athletes, I see that they respect each other a lot. That's something that I've experienced. But if you really want to know what I think based on my
Absolutely.
assumption,
Right.
or using the tool of social media, I think if you are on social media, like I was saying, that it's a responsible task again, right? Uh, Getting involved in petty things doesn't help anyone,
Agree.
neither yourself, and you. If you look at each other, so if you want to go far, you need to look in the same direction, right? If you start
Correct.
looking at each other, it's you're just looking at each other and trying to find out a reason to pick a fight,
Right.
and restricting your limitation and all that. So I would say that break that barrier, uh, take the fitness industry. If you're really responsible and you are what you claim to be, then shake hands and look in the same direction. Let's talk to each other and then say that these are plans. This is how we want to continue and help people in this
Right.
industry specifically. So I think, and the issues that I've heard, that because of what they fight, it's absolutely lame, impractical, and I don't think it's such a great industry where you talk about effort, you talk about consistency, character building and all those things. In that you're fighting over such petty things, you can't be an athlete. A true athlete can't get involved in these kind of petty things. No, you can't be an athlete. If you're an athlete, you will talk about growth, you will talk about collective effort, taking the whole industry together,
Together.
the whole fitness thing, not only for the particular community, but fitness is not something that is owned by a particular group. It's for everyone to enjoy. And if you are somebody claiming to be at some level and achieve something in the fitness industry, cater.
Right. Right.
Instead of fighting with each other, You can't be an athlete if you're fighting with each other for a long time. Yeah, there difference in opinion is something, but rivalry, it's
So that's the reason I asked you, because a lot of things, what happens is athletes like to come together. Athletes come together. They like to come together as a community,
right.
right? And it's when you come together as a community, you grow together as a community. People look up to this. That's it. When you got into the bodybuilding industry, what was your take on it when you decided, okay, I want to be a bodybuilder?
This wasn't. It
It
wasn't
wasn't a
like.
part of the plan.
No, no, it was competitive bodybuilding. I don't know, but and I think that's how the posing is naturally good for me.
Okay.
It's already instilled in my mind ever since I was small, right? This is something I was actually drawn towards, not in a subtle way again, not very clear way. Okay, this somebody could look at me and say that this guy is going to be a bodybuilder. It wasn't like that, but everybody knew that, oh, this guy works out really well. That's how I'm known for in each and every gym and wherever I go. So whoever sees me, they just stop for a moment and they see that, okay, this guy is working really hard. They approach me for looking at the effort that I make in the gym.
Right.
I don't use phone. I don't talk to people at all, and that's the reason I am not involved. I'm not on social media active. Before I wasn't. Now somebody else is handling anyway. So that's how this has been. And if you could tell me the question one more time, I would like to rephrase my answer. Just
My thing
explain
is,
it.
when you work together as a community,
Hmm.
we grow,
Yeah.
right? But when you're so busy in pulling one another's leg down,
Hmm.
you don't grow, you don't let that person grow. What is going to happen at the end of the day? You're going to be useless.
I mean, right, you answered your own question. So if you want me to add to that, um, we just spoke about it, that if you want to move forward, be it self-growth, or if you want to touch others' lives as well, and if you want to help them grow, of course you need to look in the direction where you want to head,
Right.
instead of fighting with somebody for something as lame as, how could you be rude to me? Why did you make such comment? And all that.
Right.
All those things. And any successful person, I don't think they should be focused on these kind of petty issues. If the goal is bigger, you will look at the bigger goal, bigger
Right.
picture,
Right.
and you will put in the effort in that direction, instead of, if you are walking on the road, there will be noise, right? But what are you doing about it? Are you walking the same direction, or are you just turning back and going to, just
Right.
stop the noise? That's the.
अभी a lot of successful athletes हमारे देश में, to name a few like संग्राम चौगले, सुहास दादा कामकर, सुनील यादव, सक्सेसफुल बॉडी बिल्डर्स हमारे देश में, जिन्होंने ढेर सारे इवेंट्स में compete किए before they ended up competing in big shows like
हाँ जी.
Mr. World, Mr. India and all of that.
हाँ.
आपने 4 कंपटीशन खेलने के बाद आपने डिसाइड कैसे किया कि मुझे मेरा मैं एम ट्राइंग टू गेट टू अ पास, जब मैं समझना चाहता हूँ कि आपने डायरेक्टली इतना बड़ा जंप लिया फ्रॉम कम्पीटिंग इन 4 अलग कॉम्पिटिशन डायरेक्टली शेरू क्लासिक, आप बाकी छोटे इवेंट्स अपकमिंग इवेंट्स में आपने कम्पीट क्यों नहीं किए, या कुछ?
सर, अगर आप देखेंगे तो पहला शो मेरा जो था वो IBBF के साथ में था, मिस्टर कर्नाटका, और दूसरा शो मेरा NPC में था, तीसरा शो डॉक्टर फ्लेक्स क्लासिक.
राइट.
आई एंजॉयड दैट अ लॉट. अमेजिंग द वे दे ऑर्गेनाइज. चौथा डोमिनेटर क्लासिक था, और अभी शेरू क्लासिक जो सामने है. तो मैं ये तो नहीं कह पाऊँगा कि ये कोई बहुत बड़ा जंप है, लेकिन सामने था, और अगर मैं रेडी हूँ तो क्यों नहीं. मैंने कुछ अलग से एफर्ट नहीं डाला इसमें. प्रिपरेशन सब सेम चला आ रहा है. और वो स्टार्टिंग से ही, जब आप, क्या होता है कि अगर मैं आपको एक सिंपल सा एग्जांपल दूंगा, तो जैसे कि चाइनीज़ बैम्बू होता है,
राइट.
बहुत टाइम तक वो छोटा ही रहता है, लेकिन उसमें लोग हमेशा पानी देते रहते हैं. लोगों को लगता है कि ये इट्स वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम.
करेक्ट.
वंस इट स्टार्ट्स ग्रोइंग, इट डजंट स्टॉप. वो बढ़ता ही रहता है.
राइट.
तो कोई जंप नहीं है, सालों की मेहनत है. रंग अभी अगर ला रही है तो वो रुकेगा नहीं. तो बहुत बड़ा कोई ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं बहुत बड़ा जंप मार लिया, ऐसा कुछ कर लिया. सामने है, कुछ
अपॉर्चुनिटी है तो आप वो
अपॉर्चुनिटी है, आप एफर्ट डाला हुआ है, आप रेडी हैं,
तो व्हाई
आप
नॉट.
स्टेज को जस्टिस कर सकते हैं कि नहीं. इफ़ आई डू नॉट बिलोंग ऑन दैट स्टेज, ये होगा कि मैं जंप मारने की ट्राई कर रहा हूँ. बट अगर आपको लगता है कि आप रेडी हैं और आप स्टेज को ऑनर कर सकते हैं उस कंडीशनिंग, उस फिजिक के साथ में, तो हाँ बोलने में और compete करने में क्या दिक्कत है. तो कोई बहुत बड़ा जंप नहीं मारा. मेरे को लगता है मैं शो के लिए रेडी हूँ। जीतना हारना और टाइटल मिलना ये मेरे हाथ में नहीं है। मेरे हाथ में तो इतना है कि मैं जितना हो पाए जिम में मेहनत करूँ,
परफॉर्म करना है, दैट्स अबाउट
परफॉर्म
इट।
करना है, स्टेज पे एंजॉय करना है शो। बॉडी बिल्डिंग इट्स ऑल अबाउट आपके हेल्थ के लिए है और आपके वेलबींग के लिए है। आप कितना
राइट,
दूर आपको पुश कर सकते हैं खुद को, उसके लिए है। और वो कहाँ पे
राइट,
होता है? वो ट्रॉफी उठा के तो नहीं होता है। आपकी जो सालों की मेहनत है
वो दिखाई
वो
देता है।
वहाँ से आपको आता है। तो मैं
राइट,
वही करते आ रहा हूँ और ये अगला स्टेज है, अपॉर्चुनिटी है जैसा आपने बताया। तो
राइट,
मैं compete कर रहा हूँ और अच्छा ही होगा, समथिंग दैट आई नो।
एब्सोल्युटली। ऑल आर बेस्ट विशेस आर विद यू। सो
थैंक यू सो मच।
अभी जब मैं किसी एक बॉडी बिल्डर से बात करता हूँ, मुझे एक चीज़ समझ में आती है कि जब अगर वो शेरू क्लासिक में कम्पीट करने आ रहे हैं, तो एमेचर ओलंपिया में कम्पीट करने आते हैं, उनका एक गेम प्लान है कि इन द नेक्स्ट 5 ईयर्स 4 ईयर्स जो भी है, कि मुझे ओलंपिया के स्टेज पे कम्पीट करना। क्योंकि वो आइडियल प्लेटफॉर्म है कोई भी एक बॉडी बिल्डर के लिए। ओलंपिया जीतना हारना हो तो अलग लेवल है, बट वो स्टेज पे कम्पीट करना, टू गेट क्वालिफाइड टू कम्पीट एट दी ओलंपिया स्टेज, एक सपना होता है हर एक एथलीट का।
हाँ,
इज दैट योर ड्रीम एज वेल, और कैसा है?
आई वोंट मेरे को कोई हार्डकोर ये ड्रीम नहीं है मेरा। अगर आप मेरे से पूछो कि आपकी लाइफ का एम क्या है, उसके बारे में बता सकता
हम्म,
हूँ। बॉडी बिल्डिंग जो है आपकी लाइफ का पार्ट है।
हम्म,
कल को अगर कुछ एक्सीडेंट हुआ
हम्म,
और मैं उस स्टेट में नहीं रहा कि मैं आगे बॉडी बिल्डिंग कंटिन्यू कर पाऊँ, तो क्या मेरी इंडिविजुअलिटी खत्म हो जाएगी?
एब्सोल्युटली नहीं।
मेरे को बॉडी बिल्डिंग से जो चीज़ मिली है वो मैं सारी फील्ड में अप्लाई करूँगा। तो मैंने बॉडी बिल्डिंग से क्या सीखा है? कैरेक्टर बिल्डिंग है, कंसिस्टेंसी है, हार्ड वर्क है, रिस्पेक्ट है, ये सारी चीज़ों की बात करते हैं। तो ऑल दीज मेक यू ह्यूमन एंड अ बेटर पर्सन।
राइट,
तो मैं लास्ट में जाके कितना अच्छा इंसान बनता हूँ और कितनी मेहनत कर सकता हूँ, चाहे मेरे हाथ पैर हो या ना हो, वो एक स्टेज है। ठीक है, मैं रुकूंगा नहीं। अगर उसके बाद भी कुछ आया तो मैं ये नहीं कहूँगा कि मेरा ओलंपिया तक ही था। उसके आगे भी अगर कुछ दिखता है तो मैं
तो जाऊँगा।
तो
चल,
जाएंगे वहाँ
पर
पे।
आपका कुछ गेम प्लान, जस्ट आस्किंग, आपको एक प्लान है कि इन द नेक्स्ट 5 ईयर्स आफ्टर कंपीटिंग,
हाँ,
कि आप, वो एक है एक सपना कि मुझे एक बार तो चढ़ना है वो स्टेज पर? डू यू हैव दैट काइंड ऑफ अ ड्रीम विद यू, और यू जस्ट नॉट येट फिगर आउट कि करना क्या है,
नो आई
मीन्स
हैव
कैसे करना है?
आई हैव फिगर्ड इट जस्ट माय। अगर मैं आपको बड़े सीधे तरीके से आंसर दूं तो मेरे को रुकना नहीं है। जिस तरीके से जर्नी चल रही है, जैसे आपने बोला
करेक्ट,
कि जंप मार के आ, आपको
करेक्ट,
ऐसा जंप, मेरे को ये जंप नहीं लग रहा है। तो हो सकता है कि अगर मैं ओलंपिया स्टेज पे कल को उतरूं तो वो भी मेरे को जंप नहीं लगेगा।
करेक्ट।
तो मैंने अभी तक लिमिट नहीं
इट इज़
किया।
योर हार्ड वर्क दैट इज पुशिंग यू टू गो अहेड।
बिल्कुल, वो मेरे डेली का है। अब वो मेरे को जितनी दूर लेके जाए, ओलंपिया अगर हो जाता है तो बहुत अच्छी बात है। मैं नेगेटिव नहीं हो रहा हूँ
करेक्ट,
और मैं आपको अपने आप को लिमिट भी नहीं करना चाहता कि सिर्फ ओलंपिया तक ही पहुंचना मेरी लाइफ का गोल है। वो काफी लिमिटेड हो जाएगा। आप कितने लोगों को इन्फ्लुएंस करते हैं? कितने सारे बॉडी बिल्डर्स हैं जो बहुत सक्सेसफुल शायद ना रहे हों, लेकिन दे आर ग्रेट कोचेस।
करेक्ट। Are you also into coaching? Are you training
I
anybody?
do coach based on my capability, so I do not touch anything which where I'm not 100% fully skilled. So
Right.
अभी मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ? For example, I'm a corporate employee. I work for a fintech company. So I realize that there are a lot of people, they think that they can't do it with a job. They definitely can. If I can do it, I have a small business. I train people pan India. I train myself, and I work for 9 hours. If they're just working, they definitely can, and they can be, and they can
So
be.
there are
They
no
can,
difficulties that you face when you're working for a full-time job, you have your own business, and still you remove time to train, get your meal sorted. There's no issues and no problems are stopping you that way. You-
sometimes it gets difficult, but that doesn't stop. It takes time. It's just that. For example, अगर आप कुछ टाइम तक आपने कुछ नया जॉब ज्वाइन किया, जो ट्रेनिंग पीरियड होता है उसके बाद का पीरियड, यू टेक लॉट ऑफ टाइम टू कंप्लीट अ पर्टिकुलर टास्क, बट आप थोड़ी देर उसमें रुक जाएंगे तो काम जल्दी से खत्म हो जाएगी। उसी की तरह है। मैं कॉर्पोरेट लोगों को ये एग्जांपल देता हूँ कि जब आपने,
Right,
तो थोड़े दिन के बाद आपको शायद लगे कि बहुत सारी चीज़ें डिफ़िकल्ट हैं, नहीं हो पाएगा।
right,
स्टे देयर,
right,
स्टे देयर,
right,
होल्ड स्टिल,
right,
करते जाओ। यू विल लर्न द स्किल टू हैंडल थिंग्स।
right.
तो पॉसिबल है।
Superb, superb. So format simple है कि if you can do it, no matter what profession you're in, आप कर सकते हो। अगर आप फोकस है और अगर करने की वो चाह है, तो कोई आपको रुका नहीं सकता।
सर मैंने कई लोगों को देखा है, वो 3 घंटे सो के और फ्रेश रहते हैं दिन भर, इतना सारा काम करके, और इसी तरीके से आगे बढ़ते हैं लोग।
Right,
अगर आप खुद को एक कंफर्ट जोन में रख के आराम से काम करना चाहेंगे, बॉडी की बहुत सारे लिमिटेड, बॉडी इज केपेबल ऑफ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स।
right.
माइंड, आप, आपका दिमाग और दिल अगर सही जगह पे रहे और आप हाथ पैर हिलाने लायक हैं, तो आप बहुत दूर तक जा सकते हैं और मेहनत करने का कोई लिमिट नहीं है। तो लोग बिल्कुल कर सकते हैं, कॉर्पोरेट वाले लोगों को करना चाहिए। सेडेंटरी जॉब है तो काउंटर बैलेंस कैसे करेंगे? आप क्या कर रहे हो उस चीज़ को कर्ब करने के लिए? आप रो भी उसी के लिए रहे हो और कुछ कर भी नहीं रहे हो। सॉल्यूशन सामने दिख रहा है, आप एक्टिव रहो।
सही है।
ज़रूरी नहीं है कि जिम में ही जाओ, आप कोई भी एक्टिविटी
कुछ
करो।
भी फिजिकल एक्टिविटी कर सकते जस्ट कीप
आप
योरसेल्फ एक्टिव एंड रनिंग।
बिल्कुल, आप, और ऐसा भी नहीं है कि इट्स ओनली हार्मिंग यू, राइट? यू आर अकाउंटेबल फॉर योर किड्स एंड ऑल दैट। व्हाट आर यू गिफ्टिंग देम? यू कैन गिव देम मनी विद द जॉब, but you're also gifting them diabetes and all other diseases along
Right.
with that.
Right.
How about that? Who is going to be accountable for that? Nobody answers that question, but you need to
Correct.
ask it to yourself.
Right. Okay, so now we're going to another segment in the podcast. It's called Never Have I Ever.
Okay.
ओके, तो फॉर्मेट में क्या करता हूँ, मैं गेस्ट को बोलता हूँ कि आप पानी या तो कॉफ़ी हाथ में रखिए। अगर आपने वो चीज़ की है तो आप एक गुड पानी या तो कॉफ़ी पीजिए, लेकिन आपको बोलूँगा नहीं क्योंकि मुझे पता है कि आपको एक लिमिटेड पानी पीने की ज़रूरत है। तो अगर आपको लगता है कि आपने वो चीज़ की है, आप थम्स अप दिखाइए मुझे।
जो चीज़ मैंने करी है।
हाँ जी।
Okay.
और नहीं करिए तो आप थम्स डाउन दिखाइए।
Got it.
ठीक है, ओके, शुरुआत करें।
बिल्कुल।
ओके,
Ready?
नेवर हैव आई एवर रिग्रेटेड अ डिसीजन। ओके, नेवर हैव आई एवर नॉट बीन satisfied with the judge's decision. Okay, never have I ever given free coaching. Okay, never have I ever dated a fellow athlete. Okay, never have I ever felt insecure on stage. Okay, never have I ever cheated on my diet. Never have I ever extremely been angry on someone. Okay, never have I ever broken a rule in competition. Okay, never have I ever Googled myself. Okay, never have I ever felt starstruck to someone.
Starstruck, if you could explain quickly once. I mean,
If you're competing and there's someone next to you by his personality or whoever it is, you just go crazy looking at that person and not able to, be
understood.
mentally present.
Jaw dropped and
Yeah,
things like that. So on stage
yeah,
or anywhere, as in.
anywhere, anywhere.
So to the extent where you're not insecure, right?
Right,
Yeah. So somebody really caught your attention is something that you're asking.
correct. Okay. Okay, we'll move to the next part of the podcast called the rapid fire. So I'm going to be asking you a question, and the first thing that comes to your mind is going to be your answer.
Okay.
So there are few athletes whose name I'm going to tell you, maybe Indian and international athletes. You need to tell me, according to you, what do you think is in their gym bag?
What if I do not know the name? Know the.
That's okay. You will know the names I'm talking about. They are known
Okay.
people, right? Okay. First we have a Sergey Constance.
Be legend.
Okay. So what do you think is going to be in his bag?
He will. It can be pre-workout.
Okay. Superb. Okay. Sangram Chaugule.
His own brand. He
Okay.
will be roaming around with supplement.
Okay. Manoj Patil.
Medicines.
Okay. Iqbal Sayed.
A holy book.
Okay. Manoj Sarangapani.
Some gym equipment.
Okay.
Or maybe his sneakers.
ठीक है. We all love superpowers. So if you had a superpower, what would it be?
A lot of people will be influenced in a positive way.
Right.
Not only, not, of course, not limited to bodybuilding, but as a, if I could influence somebody to head in the same direction to help each other, that's what, I really crave if I had the capability of doing that, where everybody could unite and do something meaningful
Right.
for each other. That's my superpower, is something I crave for.
What is best advice you've ever got so far?
Sublimation of energy. There are a lot of mixed emotions and feelings that you have.
Okay.
How you channelize them to utilize it. For example, motivation we were talking about, it's one thing. Now, if you really are crazy about something, everything motivates you. It can be criticism, constructive feedback, it can be positive feedback, somebody ignoring you. Everything drives you towards that. So sublimation of energy is something, channelizing whatever type of emotion energy you have
Right.
in a particular direction to get the desired results. So that's something that I learned from a book. Science, sublimation, but that can be utilized here as well. So
Okay. What is one thing in your life that you'd would feel like redoing?
I would like to relive my NCC days where I got my governor's medal and I also served Russian President
Okay.
Dmitry Medvedev,
Okay.
2012. Yeah.
What is your key of fitness?
Mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and physical health.
Wow, superb. Uh, Now, when you're on prep, you have to follow a strict diet. So, what is your favorite cheat meal when you have the opportunity to cheat for a cheat
Kulfi
meal?
Faluda,
Okay. Who's your favorite Indian athlete?
favorite Indian athlete. It's a difficult question because there is nobody directly comes to my mind that okay, this somebody created a wow. It's a rapid fire, I know, but I can't name somebody. There are
Okay.
like 2, 3 faces that are coming to my mind because of their popularity, not because I'm complete. I'm like truly impressed by them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, what is your message for your competitors who are going to be competing on stage with you? What is your message for them?
I'm a new kid on the block, but you need to pull your socks up. Yeah.
The challenge is
You
going to be big.
Yes, I will be around for a very long time now, and you'll see me around. And you can't be comfortable because I never be comfortable, and I'll be your challenge, of course.
Done. So, Rahul, thank you very much for coming here to the podcast. Really, thank you. During your prep time, you remove time, even though you're competing the next 2 days, to be here at the podcast. So, thank you very much.
I'm very happy to be here, and thank you for inviting me to your show.
Thank you, Rahul.
Thank
So,
you so
before
much.
we end this podcast, I have a mug and a pen. Humble request for you to give me your autograph on the mug.
Oh, that's
Can you do that for me,
it's
please?
kind of, yeah, it's kind of honor for me. This is my first podcast, and I believe it's going to be the best one as well. So
Thank you very much.
thank you. So sign it anywhere, and
Yeah, yeah.
okay, right. Here we go.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you very much.
so much.
And because you removed time to be here, I've got a small token of appreciation for you. This is a small gift from me and my entire team of the
That's-
Andropique mic testing. So this goes out to you.
That's lovely. Can't wait to hold that and see what is in there. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you,
Can I
Rahul.
check what do we have here, or shall I go home and check?
You can go home and check. Let me be surprised because I want a special gift for you.
I'll do that. I'll
So-
open this Pandora box later.
Right. So thank you very much, Rahul, for coming down and being here as a part of the Andropique mic testing. Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much. I wish you all the best, the whole team.
Thank you,
And thank
Rahul.
you so much, the whole crew. Thank
And
you.
yes, Rahul, one more thing.
Yes.
All the very best for your competition.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. I need it.
Thank you and all the best to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.